Um, I'm live. Shut the front door, please. Oh, good. You can see me now. I don't know if you can comment, but I have a few things to talk about today. I've met a lot of people with their own podcasts concerning guardianship cases, court cases, or the government, and hopefully they'll be on it. Tonight I had a cancellation, I believe, but I'll still be on at 9 o'clock live. Um, William Newton, my opponent for the U.S. Congressional District 7 here in Maryland, has told me that there's been a lawsuit filed in the federal district court for injunctive relief against the General Assembly here in Maryland because they are breaking the Maryland Constitution. Governor Hogan and the General Assembly has barred everybody while they're considering main bills about gun legislation and other stuff that can affect everybody's life. They're not letting anybody in for comment on either side of the bill, and they're doing it in closed door sessions away from all public. You can't consider legislation closed to the public. They're not a grand jury. They're not a guardianship hearing. The Maryland voters have the right to say their piece at hearings about these bills in front of the General Assembly here in Annapolis, Maryland. They should be suspended too, while this fake killing disease is supposed to kill us all.
They could at least set up a website for people to send their comments in so they could still be heard.
Yeah, but the Constitution guarantees public, not social media.
Yeah, but considering the current climate and how they're doing things, it might be a viable solution.
It might be a viable solution if they would take comments and reply to them over the internet. But they haven't set that up. But the General Assembly is a gathering of people. They should suspend that too if they're going to suspend everything else in Maryland. What I've heard is 20% of the people that get coronavirus, I probably didn't say that right, but 20% that gets it has to have some kind of treatment and possible hospitalization. But that 20% is people that have underlying problems and senior citizens like myself that have a lot of underlying problems. And only 0.1% of them die. We've lost 20,000 people due to the flu this year, and a couple hundred kids, I've heard. You got more chance of being killed by the flu than this damn virus. Especially if you're young, middle age, and healthy. Only senior citizens it's affecting, and only 0.1% worldwide is actually dying from it. Why such canceling everything? I remember the news saying humongous outbreaks of the flu and naming all the states that you should wash your hands and stuff. But did we go to the extreme of canceling all sporting events, all gatherings, all school systems closed when it's less likely you die from this virus than the normal flu virus? H1N1 has killed more people this year in America that has died worldwide from this coronavirus. So think about that before you get scared to death. It's just another gimmick of our governments around the world to terrorize the people into submission.
What still scares me.
Climate change. We're all going to die in a few years if we don't do something right now. people started ignoring all this bullshit. So they had to come up with something new to scare us. It's been one virus after another in my lifetime that we're all going to die of. TB, polio, Lyme disease, you name it, Ebola, or whatever it is. One disease after another. But nobody's had mass casualties. You know, like they had in the early 1900s and the 1800s, where millions of people died because we had no vaccines, we had no antibiotics, we had nothing to treat them. But the last 50, 75 years, we have all these vaccines, all these antivirus medicines, antibiotics.
Yeah, but it seems like that's not really working on the coronavirus. It's simply a matter of time whether you get through it.
They can't hear you over there because you have to talk straight into the speaker here. Even when I lean to the side sometimes, where my face isn't in the computer, it's hard for people to hear.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you think about this coronavirus? Should we destroy the world's economy, and especially America's economy? And another thing I'd like to hint, China seems to have a better infrastructure as well as Europe. We don't have testing labs all over this country like they do. We don't have medical labs to make testing equipment for this virus. They're just starting to get them. Our infrastructure for medicine is just about as good an infrastructure as our power lines. We don't have enough tests. We don't have the ability to make them because we've neglected the infrastructure. Just like for power lines and stuff, to get the power from where it's made to us. We don't have the infrastructure medically. So I've been on here almost 8 minutes now. So I'm going to end it now. Give me some chats and call me at 410-799-3516. If you have something to bring up about the government and you want to go on air with me live, the site is Injustice for All USA. Complaints about our government, whether it's local government, all the way up to the federal government, our justice system, our school system. I'm trying to be the new Donahue of this century. He was a great man back in the 70s with a lot of public audiences concerning abuses.
Talk shows aren't putting online audiences on right now.
Talk shows don't handle affairs of people being screwed. So, you know, I put a warning label because I once in a while have a cuss word. So, good night. God bless you all. Well, good afternoon. God bless you all. And don't worry about today or tomorrow. Just common cold. Drink plenty of fluids. Keep your hands clean, your face clean, and go about life as normal. Because the chance of you catching it is slim to none. And if you do catch it, the symptoms are going to be slim to none, as they're predicting